Welcome back to Teresa's Dead. My name is Teresa and I'm very much alive. I have an awful, garbage, filthy mouth, so viewer discretion is advised, but if you're not into that or weird shenanigans, this is definitely not the place for you. Feel free to X out the video here, no harm, no foul, but I'll remember our time fondly. Y'all, I did it again. I had full intention of like filming like barefaced and then being like, oh my god, like the completed look. But it just didn't happen this morning. It is what it is. Anyway, hi. In today's video, we're gonna be doing a good old-fashioned try-on. Most of these products I did pick up myself, with a couple that I did get sent in PR. And there's at least one product that I have used before, and everything else is pretty much very, very new to me. So if you wanna know how I created this wonderful, beautiful, adorable little delicious look, well then keep on watching. Thank you so much to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's madness. Y'all know how much I love and adore HelloFresh. I have been using the service for years, and it all started with trying to learn how to cook. What I appreciate about HelloFresh is how easy it is to use. Anyone, and I mean anyone, can follow along with these easy to follow recipe cards. But that's not all. HelloFresh takes it one step further by pre-proportioning your ingredients, so you can deliver a delicious, home-cooked meal without all the time-consuming hullabaloo that comes along with meal planning and prepping. But that's not even the best part. Listen, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I had to choose from a limited amount of meals when I first got acquainted with HelloFresh. But now it's the future, baby, and it's bright. Sure, we don't have flying cars, but what we do have is a choice of 40 weekly recipes to choose from. So say goodbye to your recipe rut and treat yourself to exciting new flavors every week. No matter your lifestyle or meal preferences, HelloFresh has recipes sure to please everyone at your table. From calorie smart to carb smart to veggie or family friendly, you'll always find something even the pickiest eaters will enjoy. So stop wasting your time eating the same boring thing and try a little variety, guaranteed to be absolutely delicious. HelloFresh has a fantastic offer for you little pumpkins. Go to HelloFresh.com and use code Teresa'sDead65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Again, that's HelloFresh.com and use code Teresa'sDead65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video and the madness. Now, back to old me. Good morning, my little raspberry berets. How are you today? I am doing fantastic. That was incredibly sarcastic. They're doing construction near my house and I could feel it. Do you know what that feeling is? Like when you feel at the bottom of your feet, you just feel like whatever the hell they're using, just jackhammer inside of you. That's what I'm feeling today. It's not fun. So I'm gonna try my best to be fair about this makeup. Try to be like rational, but right now I'm like 3 minutes away from being a feral person. I love misophonia. So without further ado, I don't want to like drag this on because if I have to hear any more beeping, I'm gonna be very, very upset. So first thing we're gonna do is do some lip care, and the one thing I want to use is from Jouer, and this was actually sent to me by Camera Ready Cosmetics, so thank you so much. Majority of the stuff that you're gonna see today I have purchased. There are like maybe 2 things, 3 things that I received in PR. Everything else was purchased. So let's use this one. This is the Essential Hydrating Lip Oil. You know me, you know I love a good lip oil. Ooh, I love that doe foot. Very, very Dior-esque. Okay. I don't like the doe foot. The doe foot's kind of hard, which is wild because I have many doe foots that look like this for lip oils and they're usually really, really comfortable. This one's kind of, okay, I'm being dramatic. Clearly the misophonia is winning. It's not the worst thing, but it kind of feels like, think of it like a cat's tongue. You know how like that sandpaper feel? But like decrease that by 30%. That's what this is. Specific, I know. Ow. Okay, ooh, you know what's fucked up? I like the formula. I feel like it's nice. I just don't like the doe foot. That sucks. For you kittens, this is in the shade Natural Shine. Nice, okay. I like it, no color. It's a nice formula, it just hurts. It's hurting me and I don't like it. Moving on. Moving on to primers. I don't have any primers, so we're just gonna use my tried and true, my Ritual Defeat. Duh, no shit. So here's my Thorn Oil. We love her. Don't mind the redness. It's just me getting visibly upset. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. It's awesome. If you ever want to try anything from Ritual Defeat, I do have a code with them. It's Theresa10. And yes, it is an affiliate code, so if you do use it, I do get a small kickback. But the Thorn Oil, bitch, my favorite fucking thing in the world. The thing that I start my day with. This oil has saved many, many foundations for me. So as you can see, I do have some redness in my skin. And the thing that I want to try is from e.l.f. and this is their Camo Color Corrector. I have no expectation for this product. And a part of me really just wants to use the concealer that I featured in my Yes Style video. That's a great color corrector. Like that one's legit fucking really, really good. This I have no expectation for, so this should be fun. But actually, before I do that, I want to use a little bit of this Ole Henriksen because I'm like at the end of my bottle. This is the Wrinkle Blur Bakuchiel Eye Cream. This is so good. Anytime my under eye area just feels a little bit drier than usual, which is right now, pop this on and it just keeps everything so plump and juicy and hydrating. I usually use this in my skincare routine, but lately I've just been incorporating this in getting ready as well because it just kind of gives me that extra layer of hydration. Okay, so let's try this boy out. Ooh, okay, let's see. She's mint green. Okay, okay. All right, she's mint green. So we're just gonna pat it out with a finger. Oh, bitch, okay. All right, so you see this honking little demon down here? So we're just gonna paint her too. Why not? Oh, okay. I mean, it's still a little red, but that thing was a demon, so I'm not mad at it. Boop, 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 boop. What a shitload over there. Usually I kind of pat this product into the skin. I kind of feel like with this way, I kind of have to blend it with my finger like that. Holy shit. Okay, you know what? I love having no expectation. It just makes things so much better. Don't you agree? Holy shit, all right. So far looking good. I think what I like about the same product is that it has that like that beige component to it, so it's not straight up mint green. So I feel like it does a really nice job kind of concealing everything and being a little bit more true to my skin color. But I will say, because there is like a little bit of a green tinge to this, but it's not terrible though. Paint this side of my face too, because why not, right? I'm just gonna dump a whole fucking bottle on my face, who cares? Who cares at this point? I'm gonna be very brief in this part because I really have to kind of get ready today and I really want to focus on the makeup. But there's gonna be a video coming out soon where I'm probably gonna talk at great lengths about MILF Manor. If you know what that is, I'm sorry. And if you don't know what that is, I'm sorry. If you haven't heard of it, it's a TLC show about MILFs dating. But there's a very interesting twist that is like... And even though I've seen this a couple of days ago, I still feel very changed from it. And I feel like I need to like destroy everybody else in the world that didn't know about it so that they can feel the weirdness that I feel. So be on the lookout for that video. We're going to talk at great lengths about it because it's scary. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But if you do want to watch it though, feel free. But just proceed with caution. Okay, so so far looking really, really good. It took a lot of the redness out of my face. I do see a little bit here and there. I look a little seasick because I could kind of see the green tinges kind of around. I am noticing a little bit more red kind of poking through. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. We're gonna keep playing with this, but I think out of all the color correctors that I have, this is probably the most green. At least all of them kind of go into like a beigey kind of a shade. This one, you could still see that I am a fucking mint dream. It's weird, but I'm okay with it, but it's weird. All right, anyway, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move into foundation, and this is from Juvia's Place. What the hell is this called? This is the I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation. So I have it in the shade Maricao. I hope I'm saying that correctly, and it's a shade 710 if you are interested, if you look like me on cooked chicken. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to take a brush, which one of my favorite foundation brushes is the one from Lethal Cosmetics. So I put like two pumpish. I put two pumpish on my hands. And I mean, she is really light. Oh, she is really light, god damn it. Okay, this is more of like a concealer shade. All right, listen, we're gonna make this work. We're just gonna, she's thick and she is doing full coverage, which is nice, but fuck, okay. I mean, oh. It's not terrible, it's just very, very light. Okay, we're gonna figure this out. It's like I keep putting more on in hopes that it's gonna get better, but it doesn't. Okay, I mean, okay. So I'm just gonna go over. Oh, okay. All right, I feel like when I use a sponge, it definitely kind of pushes the product into my skin to make it not look like, you know, which is great. I like that. You know what? When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This actually looks pretty fucking good. I was scared for nothing. All right, I just want to put a little up here, and then I'm going to take a sponge just to blend it out. It's a lot of product. So I actually technically didn't need all this product. I think I would have been fine with probably a pump because it does spread out pretty evenly and nicely. I'm not gonna put any additional product on my nose. Just take whatever's on my sponge. I don't like to load up my nose with too much product because then it just looks like a cakey, gross mess. I'm accidentally covering my eyebrows here, but whatever, it's fine. I'm just gonna add just a little bit because I see some redness poking through. I wanna see if I can build it up, but it's pretty full coverage though. It's interesting, you know, I don't like it with a sponge when I'm applying it, like from my hand. I almost prefer to use a brush and then a sponge. I have not seen any reviews about this foundation. Usually I don't like reviews of anything that I have products of because I don't want my thoughts to be contaminated. So I've been ignoring videos that talks about this foundation. So I'm really kind of going in blind here. So I'm curious to know if other people kind of feel the same way that I do. The foundation's not terrible by any means. It's just some areas it looks really nice. And then there's some areas where it just looks a little, I don't know, like a little dry, like right over here, kind of creating a little bit of texture. So I'm just trying to see if I can blend that out. It's probably my fault, not necessarily the product, because everywhere else looks pretty seamless. It's just right here. Yeah, I think that was just me. Okay, that's good. I do see some redness poking through, so I would kind of classify this more as like a high medium coverage for sure. I'm not mad at it though, but I tried to build it up a little bit in some areas and I could still see some redness poking through. I feel like this is going to be kind of the best of the best here. I read the side of the package and it looks like it can just be a buildable medium coverage. So the fact that I got a high medium coverage, golf claps all around. That's pretty fucking good. And I kind of go back and forth between liking like a lot of full coverage versus like more of a medium coverage and being able to see all my little freckles and all that other bullshit. And so far so good. This looks pretty good. So I'm happy with it, but of course we're going to continue to use it. So with that said, let's move on to the concealer. So this is the Positive Light Under Eye Brightener, and I have this in the shade Light. So this, technically, I could use this on its own, or I can pair this over a concealer. So let me see. I want to see what it looks. Okay. So the doe foot is like this little metal ball. It feels archaic, but okay. We're just gonna pop that right in the middle. This is supposed to have really light coverage, so I'm not really expecting too much from this. I think what I might do, just to see how it looks on its own, and if not, if I feel like, I can't really get away with that, I'm just gonna layer it over. You know what, actually fuck that. We're on this side of the face, we're gonna use the product as is, and on this side, we're gonna layer it over a concealer. All right, so we're gonna just go in with a brush, which is typically like how I like to use my concealers these days. Ew. I don't like this on its own. It's splotchy. Ugh, it's splotchy. That's fine, that's fine. What we're gonna do instead is that we're gonna layer it over concealer. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of the Rare Beauty concealer. I love this stuff. I'm actually like down to here, so I kind of need to repurchase one soon. And we're just gonna paint. This is a really nice medium coverage concealer. I love how hydrating it is. Just so pretty and so comfortable under the eye. Looking really, really nice, seamless. I feel like on this side, it's kind of settling into my fine line right there. I have a very big fine line. This one looks more concealed. So now what I wanna do is just take a little bit of this, pop it in the inner corner, and then we'll just do it over here too. The wand, I don't know if I like this wand. I get it because it's supposed to be very cooling and stuff, but it feels like it kind of pisses out the product. Like it doesn't really come out all that great. Ooh, okay, this foundation's also settling into my lines here, and then right up here. Okay, I love that for me. All right, you know what, let's do this with a finger instead. Maybe this will have a better, do you see a difference? I don't. I mean, it's, so what is this, like a it's not a pre-concealer. I guess it's like a concealer. What the fuck is this? I don't know. Do I think this added anything? No. Granted, I believe this is considered their brightening concealer. I'm just gonna add a little concealer right there because I just see a lot of redness kind of poking through. I'm just gonna pat out all these lines around my face. Ugh, gross. At least I could pat them out. That's not bad. Okay. Yeah, I don't really think it added anything. So like on its own, like I said, it's settling into my line right there. You could see that. Here, unless I see something during editing, I'll mention it here, but I don't see a difference in person. So what I want to do actually is kind of cover this up now to make it more even, because I don't like how that looks. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that concealer. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's definitely, I mean, I feel like I fucked this side up. I think I probably should have taken that first product off because it's already settling in there. So just putting concealer over it pretty much just cemented the fact that I will now have a line on my face for the rest of the day. Sometimes that happens. Okay. All right. We're gonna throw on a little bit of powder and then we're gonna move on to other complexion products. So I'm going to use the powder that I used in my Yes Style video. This is Romandy. I love this powder, it's so good. That is not the brush I want. And for the under eye, I'm going to use a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury because I love this as an under eye powder. And a little bit goes a long way. I feel very, very white. So let's kind of bring back a little life to my face. And we're going to use the Jones Road bronzer. So I picked it up in the shade Dusty Rose, which is the lightest shade, because it just looked super interesting to me. Now, when it comes to Jones Road, most of their products that I have tried, with the exception of the concealer and the pencil, everything hasn't really worked out well for me. I just don't quite understand it or get it. I've tried, keep trying, but it's not amazing. But this though, this interests me a lot because I typically don't like warm tone bronzers. I'm not a fan. And I always look for something that is cool toned or neutral. So this is kind of interesting that this is kind of straight up, almost like a blush color. So let's see how this goes. So I want to see something first. I want to go on the Jones Road website just to make sure. Jones Road, I feel like, has like a lot of instructions on how to use things. So let's see if there's anything I need to know about it. Let's see how to use. Apply bronzer to a place where sun naturally touches the face. Okay, all right, that seems pretty easy. Like the forehead, cheek, and bridge of the nose using the bronzer brush. I didn't get the bronzer brush. Why? Because I don't need another fucking brush, but okay. Also works perfectly on the neck to seamlessly blend the face of the body. Bobby's tip, I love using Dusty Rose as a blush. Got it. Okay, so this is more of like a blush. All right, but I feel like that's probably blush to some, and maybe for uncooked chickens like myself, this might be a good bronzer color. I don't know. Let's see how this goes. So I'm going to go in with the Sonia G brush. This is the Niji Pro. This, you know what it kind of reminds me of a little bit? The color anyway. Bare Minerals, the bronzers, the blush bronzer things or whatever. Kind of feel like this is like the best of both worlds. It kind of brings a little bit of warmth to the face, but also a little bit of color too. So you know what? Not too shabby. Not too shabby, Jones Road. This is pretty cool. I actually really like this a lot. God damn. Okay. I really like this. This looks really good. I want to add just a little bit more, even though I think this is fine for what it is. Let's see if we could fuck our face up. See how easy this stuff is to blend out. I like this. I like this a lot. So I'm gonna go back in using the brush that I use with the setting powder. I don't have any additional product. It's whatever's on the brush, just to make this look a little bit more seamless. I think I messed up by adding a little bit more. I think I should have left it alone the first time because I feel like it really does give like a nice bronzer look. You don't really need to go heavy-handed. If you do go heavy-handed, I feel like it comes off more as a blush. So something to think about when using this product. But I think if you just want a little bit of something to the cheeks that looks really, really natural, you don't need a lot of product when achieving that. So that's good to know. And basically I'm just taking the brush that I had the bronzer product on, not using any additional product, just using it to continually blend. It definitely brought some warmth to the face and I don't look like my wall. So that's good. We love that. Sometimes I like looking like a plastic bag of teeth and sometimes I don't. This looks pretty good. I fucking like it. I like it. So that said, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add a little bit of blush on top of this. But in theory, I could kind of be on my merry way. It reminds me of the Bare Minerals bronzer in that regard, is that I feel like that's a really good product that's like a perfect ratio of blush to bronzer. So I think in the future, I'm curious to see what the next shade would look on me. I feel like that would be more of a proper bronzer, but I don't know, actually. I don't know, I think this looks fucking good. This looks good. So now we're gonna go in with the Cloud Crush, and this is a blurring blush, and we have it in the shade Head in the Clouds, which I love the packaging. It's so pretty, and I can't even open it. Love that. Oh, she's pretty. She's a very, very dusty pink color. So we're just gonna add a little bit right yonder. In a way, I kind of feel like these two are kind of the same, not really. So this is the swatch of Bobbi Brown. For those that are curious, that's the swatch of the blush on top of it. You can tell that they go together very, very well. At first I was like, wait a second, is this the same fucking thing? But no, it's not actually. I'm not mad. I don't hate this. I think this is really, really pretty. So the next product I want to use is from Stila. I know I talk a lot of shit, but this is their Heaven's Dew All Over Glimmer. This is in the shade Silver Lake. This is a very silvery bronzer. It's very glitter bukkake-esque. I did a swatch of it and I'm like, oh, okay. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Fenty Gloss Bomb, but just not as wet. But you can see that it's very, very shiny. That formula felt incredibly slick. This doesn't feel as slick as that one, but I feel like the results are very, very similar, if not the same. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to use this little teeny tiny fan brush, and we're just going to, yeah, okay. If you do not like glitter, you're not gonna like this. This is glitter bukkake. But I ain't mad at it, but it's glitter bukkake though. So if you don't like rogue glitter, you're gonna fucking hate this. I would steer clear of this. What I will say though, applying this, it looks really, really pretty. It's very, very wet, very blinding, which is gorgeous. And it doesn't seem to be emphasizing any dry texture or anything like that. So that's good. But I do see some rogue sparkles. So what I want to do is I'm gonna take this kind of clean blending brush and just kind of blend it a little bit more into the existing products. And when you do that, I feel like a little bit of its luster kind of goes away. You just are left with a lot of sparkles. It's pretty, but it's not my favorite thing though. Okay, Stila. Okay. It's like when you blend it, it kind of goes away, but not really. It's not as beautiful as it once was. So we're just gonna add a little bit more there. Yeah. Not my favorite. Not the worst highlighter by any means, but this is something that I would not go out of my way for. No, thank you, ma'am. So now we're gonna move on to the eye portion of today's show. Actually, you know what? No, fuck that. Let's do lips first because I'm tired of looking at my mouth. And we're gonna go in with this Buxom Plumping Lip Polish. So, oh, okay. No, we don't wanna go in with that. Never mind. We're gonna go in with something that we already have. I realized this is very, very shimmery and I'm like, no, I kind of wanted a lipstick. I think what I want to do is I'm going to go in with this Makeup by Mario. This is in the shade Sam. It's a very, very neutral nude pink. It's a matte formula, but it's not uncomfortable. You know what? Now I will go in with that Buxom one. So this was also sent to me by Camera Ready Cosmetics, so thank you so much. Oh, okay. Hello, frosty moment. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I needed to put this over lipstick. I think on its own it would have looked weird. For those curious, this is the full-on plumping lip polish in the shade Celeste. And there it is. Okay, now I'm feeling that plumping feeling. Ugh, that sucks. Not a biggest fan of plumping, and I should have fucking thought about that before I put this on. It's not the worst by any means, but I'm a fucking baby. I am a baby. So some things like this, I'm like, oh, it's so painful. But I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Kind of in the middle. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the thing that I'm really excited about. This is from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. This is their Lure palette. This is like a fantastic mermaid stream, but today I wanna focus on this side of the palette, which is, I would probably say the most neutral part of the palette, but I don't give a fuck. It's the basic bitch in me that loves it. But it's like a basic bitch with a twist. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Kaleidos eye primer. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Pirate's Life, which is this brown shade, and I'm going to kind of put that in the crease, and then I'm going to use the shade Storm Ahead to blend that out. I like Blend Money's, wow. I like Blend Money. I like Blend Money's, motherfucker. I love Blend Bunny's mattes. They're so silky smooth, and they're really, really easy to use. They're very, very easy to blend out and all that. Bloopity blop blop. I have quite a few of their palettes, and I'm happy to say that with the palette like the Surge one, for example, or Primal, there doesn't seem to be like any straight up dupes in my opinion. Like, oh no, this is exactly the same thing. There are, I feel like if anything, like everything is kind of more of like sister palettes. Everything goes together really nicely, but it doesn't feel like, oh, okay, if you have this palette, you know, you don't need this one because of XYZ. There are some differences between the shades, which, listen, I know this palette has been out for a second, so y'all know, you've seen probably a bunch of videos on it. I love this one. I think, dare I say, this one might be one of my favorite ones compared to some of their basic bitch palettes. I love their basic bitch palettes. They're so good. So now that I have that where I want it, as you could see, it's just like a nice cool tone brown color. Very, very beautiful. I'm going to take that Storm Ahead shade and just start to blend it out. And that Storm Ahead shade, I'm going to kind of put like a little bit above the crease, just to make it like a nice, like even blend, basically like that. I will though go back in with that brown shade just to build up the crease to give a little bit more of a dimension. What I have on is really, really pretty. Could be left alone, but you know me, I'm extra. But you see what I mean? Like, they're so easy to blend. I don't have like any kind of bullshit patchiness or anything like that. And when blending, it doesn't feel like it's blending into one color. You could definitely see the gradient of everything which is fabulous. But this eye look today that I'm going to show you is super, super quick. And that's what I like about this palette, is that each row can create its own eye look. Yes, you can mix and match, obviously, but if you wanted to stay true to the line, everything is going to match and look very, very beautiful. Smoky, adorable, cute, we love her. I'm just gonna do that to the other side. So I hate this side. The concealer, oh, it's so bad. It's so thick. Okay, I probably shouldn't have added the other concealer on top of the other one, but it's settling so far into my line. Ew. All right, so as you can see, looks pretty cute. I think what I want to do now is I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the shade Tentacles, which is a nice purple shade. I'm just gonna kind of pat it out in the outer corner, but I want to mix it with the black shade to really make it like really dramatic and really smoky. Hear that? The children are out. God love them. What I want to do now is just take a little bit of that black C shade just to put it more in the outer corner to really give it like a very, very smoky look. Go back in with that purple shade, bring it more to the center of the lid. Now I'm going to be covering up, I want to say like 2/3 of my lid with the shimmer, but I want to see if I can kind of do like a purpley black kind of a gradient between the two, so it's not like straight up black. Go back in with that brown shade just to blend the outer edges. There is a little bit of fallout, but that's just for me because I'm rushing a little bit because I need to go to work soon. I'm just gonna keep blending. So I have a little bit of purple, a little bit of black. I like this. And now what I want to do is take the shade Pearl, which is so pretty, which I believe is like a duochrome if I'm not mistaken. Don't think this is a multi-chrome. Kind of has like a little bit of like a green gold, or maybe it is a multi-chrome actually. It's like a green gold, but then it has like this really, really beautiful pinky purple shade. It's just so pretty and it goes so, so well. And you have like a really, really smoky eye. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of NYX glitter glue. This is the thing that usually works best for me when it comes to applying these kinds of shades. All right, I'm probably gonna have to go in with 2 brushes only because in the inner corner, I like it a little bit cleaner, but see what I mean? Like it's so pretty. All right, I'm gonna stop right there and then I'm gonna switch to a smaller brush. Because I have hooded eyes, I have like a really good chance of like shit transferring on me, even if I do use glitter glue. And it's just because of how my little roast beef hangs. That's why I like to go in with a smaller brush. I find that the transferring is not that bad, or it's pretty much non-existent when I go in with a smaller detailed brush. Go right up to that crease area. So then we're gonna go back in with the matte shade that had that like, I want to say blurple, I guess black and purple. And we're just gonna put that right there and ta-da. Don't look at my under eye area. It looks like I can't help settling in that fine line. It's driving me nuts. But look how pretty she is. So I'm gonna do that on this eye, and then we are going to use a little bit of liner. We're gonna keep on keeping on. Now I wanna put something in my waterline. I wanna go in with this pink shade. It's from ColourPop. This is in the shade Fruit Fantasy. I absolutely love this shade. This one's really, really good. Usually it's hit or miss when it comes to ColourPop, especially when it comes to their gel cream eyeliners. So I'm happy to say that this pink, 1, doesn't irritate my eyes at all, and 2, it actually has really good longevity. All right, and now I just want to add a little something to the lower lash line. So I think what I want to do is kind of go in with a little bit of Storms Ahead, which is that shade that we use to blend out. Just want to put that kind of in the lower lash line. I'm gonna add a little bit of Seductress, which is this purple shade, just a little bit. I'm gonna take a clean, fluffy brush and just blend. So the next thing obviously is mascara, and we're gonna go in with the most controversial one. But I do want to curl my lashes first. We're gonna do that. The L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Mascara. This stuff is pretty good, pretty good. So you basically want to take the weird curved side and run that through your lashes, and then you want to take that flat side and you want to comb it out. If you haven't seen my video on where I talk about mascara gate, I will link it in the corner. Feel free to check it out, or don't. I really don't give a fuck. Who cares? I'm kind of over it. I'm tired of it. Anyway, drama aside, this is a really nice mascara. It does a really good job at lengthening and separating your lashes. And if you're someone like me that doesn't fuck with false lashes, this is a pretty good mascara. I'm gonna add a little bit of that Stila right in the inner corner. Give it a full-on glitter bukkake moment, because that's one thing I don't really have in this palette is too many inner corner shades. I could potentially use Pearl just a scotch, but still, yeah. Okay, so we kind of use a little bit of it, but for the most part, this is what she looks like. Let's blast my face with some setting spray and let's talk about it. Ta-da! I know, I look so cute. Okay, so let me give you my quick thoughts about some of these products. Starting with the e.l.f. Camo Color Corrector. This wasn't bad. I don't see any green in my face, so that's good. Of course, I want to continue to use it, but I think the biggest difference for me using other color correctors is that this still kind of maintains that green twinge of fucking seasickness. But I think it does a really nice job at covering majority of the redness. I do see that there is some redness poking through. I feel like every color corrector, there's always going to have that chance of that the redness is just too goddamn strong, but it does cover a majority of it. So this is so far so good. Of course, I want to continue to use it. It didn't really interfere with the foundation or anything like that. My skin looks really, really nice. So I'm happy about this. Mama's happy. So we're going to continue to use it. And of course, I'll update you at the end of the month to let you know how I'm continuing to feel about it, but so far so good. Moving on to the foundation. Ooh, that shade was light. Okay. So this is the I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation. This was not bad. I think 2 pumps is way too much. I think you can get away with like a pump and a half and be on your merry way. I love it with a brush, even though it feels like incredibly full coverage. I kind of feel like I need to use a sponge to really press it into the skin to not make me look like a fucking paint swatch. I think this foundation is very beautiful, but it just felt like it was sitting on top. And then when I started to use the beauty sponge to kind of push it in, and then I was like, oh, okay, now it looks like my skin, but better. I think this is a high medium coverage, which I love. And while yes, there is some redness poking through, you can always use a full coverage concealer to kind of conceal your bits and bobs. But so far so good. I like how it sits on my nose. It doesn't feel too drying. It meshed very, very well with my Ritual Defeat Thorn Oil, so we love that. But of course, as a first impression, so far so good. Obviously, I have to continue to wear it for the remainder of the month, but so far I'm loving the results. And I think I look like a cute little cupcake. Yep. I'm a cute little cupcake. Also, it meshed really, really well with the Roman D, what the hell is this? Better Than Finished powder as well. So Mama really likes. Now let's talk about the concealer. Ew. Okay, so this is the Rare Beauty Brightening Concealer, or what a Positive Light, whatever. Ooh, fuck. This thing. First of all, the doe foot is kind of weird. I understand why, because it's like, oh, you want something very cooling, especially for your under eye because of the skin being so thin and sensitive. You want something cooling. It just feels weird. It doesn't feel like super amazing. So I don't like that. But I find that the product kind of pisses out, best way I can describe it. Doesn't really feel like I'm getting a full coat of anything. I have to kind of build up the product just for it to kind of like come out. But when I do use it just on its own, ew. I think maybe I'm just too old for this product. I don't know what it is, but I do have some bullshit. I have some deep lines under my eye, and they were just fully accentuated. Fully, like I could see those bitches from Mars. I did not like that. And as I'm continuing to talk, I feel it settling more and more into my soul, okay? It's going so far back that I'm pretty sure it's gonna pop out of the back of my fucking head. I don't like this. So that said, I use it 2 different ways. I then use it on top of concealer. I don't think it really does anything. You know, I kind of think I'd rather just stick with a under eye brightening powder, have kind of I would say a better effect, and it would also set my under eye area. I don't think this is good. Of course, this is like the first time I'm using it, so obviously maybe next time is gonna be better. But initially, this is kind of a fucking waste of money in my opinion. But we're gonna keep using it and I'll let you know. But so far, not great. And I will say that on this side too, it is settling into my fine lines. And normally this concealer doesn't do that. So, which when I applied on this side, I used the Rare Beauty concealer. So I don't know, it's just not meshing very well. I'm not a fan of this. So this is probably my least favorite fucking thing today. Gross garbage. Okay, moving on to complexion-y products. Jones Road. Yo, this bronzer in Dusty Rose. It's pretty. I love how I look. I love this. I feel like this is the best description of a bronzer and a blush had a baby. That's what this is. If you are fair like me on cooked chicken, this is gonna work out very well for you. If you only use like one layer of the product, I feel like it leans more towards a bronzer. When you start to build it up, it looks a little bit more blushy. So depending on what you're looking for or whatever, just kind of keep that in mind when you're playing with it. I can't wait to kind of continue to play with it this month, but this was actually pretty fucking good. Part of me wanted to see if I should try another shade just to see like, oh, like how would it look if I got like the light shade or whatever the case may be is, but I don't think I want to. I think I'm actually okay with just this Dusty Rose shade. This, I could see myself kind of really utilizing this more when I'm like running out the door and I don't have time to put on 75 different fucking products. I feel like this is one of those things where it's like, boom, 1 to 2 layers, you were good to go and you don't have to think otherwise. So I like this. This exceeded my expectations, and obviously I'm gonna give you an update at the end of the month, but so far so good. I'm loving it. As for the Too Faced blush, this was cute. This is their blurring blush. Do I think it's blurring? I don't think so. Like, it doesn't really, oh, it is looking okay. Maybe it is blurring, okay. My skin looks good, okay? But I really like the shade. So this is in the shade Head in the Clouds. It's so funny, when I first put this on next to Dusty Rose, I was like, oh, it kind of looks the same. When I started to blend, and then I added just a little bit more of this color in the pop of the cheeks, I can see the difference between the two. I think combined, these are very, very pretty, but this is fun. I like this. Too Faced sometimes throws out a banger every now and again, and I'm happy to report that this is a pretty good one. So I can't wait to kind of continue to use this and also potentially get more colors. So love that. Okay. Stila, baby. All right, I talk a lot of shit about this brand, and I gave them a chance. I gave them a chance because I wanted them to shut me the fuck up. And I don't hate this highlighter, but it's kind of like the Fenty Gloss Bomb, or whatever the fuck, the Glitter Bomb, or whatever. This one. It reminds me of this, except it doesn't feel as slick, the formula. Maybe it kind of does. It's been a little bit since I've had that highlighter, to be honest with you. Maybe the formula is very similar. But in any case, it gives you this very wet alien slut moment, which I love, but it's straight up glitter. Straight up. So if you are not a fan of glitter, this is not for you. Look the other way. On the bright side, it doesn't emphasize any texture or anything like that, but when you start to blend it out, you do get like sparkles that kind of fly everywhere. So they don't stay contained. I think I would be more impressed if the sparkles were contained, but they're not. They kind of just go wherever the fuck they want to go. So of course I'm gonna continue to use it because I like how it looks. I think it's really pretty, but it's just, I don't know, I expected more. But again, I'm not surprised. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. Let's move on to some lip products. So the lip oil from Jouer, this is a hydrating lip oil. Like the lip oil formula, I hate the doe foot. The doe foot feels like a cat's tongue. I don't like it. Then I use a little bit of the Makeup by Mario, the matte lipstick in the shade Sam. Love that one. That one's good. But I did use the Buxom, Buxom Full On Plumping Lip Polish. It just feels like I have like a minty kiss on my mouth. It's not the worst lip plumping product I've ever tried. Usually lip plumping just feels like the hottest thing on the planet and just makes me feel uncomfortable. This at least dissipates, but it just feels minty fresh, like I brushed my teeth and my lips. But so far it's looking really good, but I will say that the mixture of this with the matte lipstick is starting to bleed into the outer corners, giving me that fun little Joker smile. But I love the color of the two. I think the combination is really pretty, but I just kind of have to be a little bit wary of how to wear it so I don't look like I am a fucking psychopath. So that's great. And moving on to eyes. Okay, so the Blend Bunny, this is the Lure palette. This was sent to me in PR, so thank you so much to Blend Bunny. I do have a code. If you are interested, you can save a little bit of money if you use the code garbage. That said, I really enjoy this palette. I think it's a lot of fun. I particularly really like this row right here because it kind of feels a little basic bitch with a twist. I love the shimmers. I think the mattes are probably my favorite though because they're very soft, they're very easy to work with. There is little to no fallout. I don't have to experience any patchiness or any other bullshit. Like, they're just really beautiful shades. I don't have any staining issues or anything like that. When it comes to the shimmers, they're very bright, they're very popping, they're very, very pretty. I think in the beginning I was kind of like lukewarm about their shimmers, and then with each new palette, it's like their shimmers get better and better. So I am a fan of this one, and I actually really like the color story of this one a lot more than some of their recent palettes, which kind of feel like a little bit, I don't want to say copy and paste, because like when you look at them next to each other, there are some differences, but like it's kind of like the same rainbow palette over and over again, right? So this is kind of really nice to be able to see this really beautiful mermaid color story. Like, I think it's so beautiful. I love the whole thing. I love the packaging, I love the vibe, and I'm really curious to see what else Blend Bunny has up their sleeves. But I really sincerely hope that we kind of continue to get these kind of fun color stories. As much as I love the rainbow palettes, it's like you're kind of beating a dead horse a little bit. So it's just like, make more stuff like this. Make things that are just really fucking colorful and cool and more unique as opposed to just the same rainbow. Loving the shit out of this. And the longevity, I don't think I talked about that. The longevity is perfect. I have worn this palette many a times for over 12 hours and it always has stayed in place. There's no cracking, no fading, no flaking. This shit is fucking legit. So we love her. And I tried it both with the Kaleidos primer and my NARS soft matte concealer. And with both formulas, they worked really well with this palette. So we love that. Now moving on to eyeliner. ColourPop, like I mentioned before, ColourPop hit or miss, especially when it comes to their gel eyeliners. Sometimes they really are wonderful. Sometimes they are hot dog shit. This one is fantastic. This is Fruit Fantasy, right? Yep, Fruit Fantasy, a very beautiful pink. It has incredible longevity and I don't find it to be kind of like bunching up in the outer corner or kind of creating any sort of mess throughout the day. Everything looks super perfect. I highly recommend checking out these, and I believe I still have my code activated. So if you do want to save $5 off your order, use the code garbage 5. So thank you, Daddy. Love you. And then I think the last thing I want to talk about is the mascara, which of course I will, you know, leave this in an update video, but I talked about this briefly in my Yes Style video, but I like this. I like this mascara. So this is the telescopic lift. I think what it does is take what you have and just make it more pronounced. It doesn't give you additional lashes. It just takes what you have and makes it that much better. I think it does a really nice job of creating a lot of length and volume and keeping that length and volume throughout the day. Most mascaras that usually promote length and volume usually fall throughout the day and then you just kind of look really flat and it looks really weird. This has incredible longevity to the point where I was out in the heat because it's kind of been weirdly like hot here, and I say hot, it's like 85, but I think it's like a fucking million degrees. And it's been really wonderful. It holds up really, really well, and I've been outside, I know. I like the brush. At first I thought it was kind of like a little gimmicky because it's like, oh, you flip it and then you do this. But I actually think it's pretty simple. Use the round side to put a layer on, and then you flip it to use the thinner side to kind of comb out the lashes to look a little bit more defined. Like I said, it does not add lashes, but it works with what you have and takes what you have and makes it look better. Is this the best mascara I've ever used? No, it's not, but I think it's really fucking good, and it's just a shame that this kind of got tarnished between Michaela not being truthful and L'Oreal just being an asshole, both of them. Essentially kind of fucking up a decent product, which is so stupid in my opinion. It's so stupid. But if you think that you're going to get like this full false lash effect, you're not. You're just gonna get a better version of what you already have. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got for you today. I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. As always, feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It's free, and hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and YouTube members. Thank you so much for keeping this delicious, disgusting, filthy, trashy, really filthy, really gross, really nasty garbage boat afloat. Couldn't do without you. I love your adorable little delicious faces, and I just want to gobble you all up so you can live inside my belly and we can be one. If you want to know what's currently on my face, everything I talked about in today's video will be linked down below. And I'll see you little cupcakes on Friday. Bye.